Alright, what's up everybody? Today's video is going to be about the matchmaking system and how to improve it so that players can get more matches that are balanced and more matches that they enjoy without adding anything difficult to implement to the game. So the very simple solution that allows us to do this would be to add a rematch button. This would be a button where if everyone in the lobby accepts, they all click the rematch button, then instead of leaving lobby and then having to find a new match, they all get to stay in the same game. And the benefits of this should be clear. Let's say you're a survivor and your queue times are like 10 minutes, and you get like you're like a rank 20 survivor and you get against like these red rank killer, and you're having these really terrible unbalanced games. You're kind of frustrated, and then you finally get into a lobby against maybe a newer killer, and your other survivors are pretty new too. Maybe you have like one guy who's pretty strong, but overall you're having really balanced fun. Like you're having a really fun game against this guy, and you're learning a lot because it's like you're actually getting to play. You have more time to like understand the loops better, and then that game ends, and now it's just gone. That's how it is in the current system. I think it would be a lot nicer if those players could be given the opportunity to continue those lobbies and keep playing this balanced matchup. And like during so then you would continue into the 1 minute queue, and it's not like it would be the same exact game. It's like the killers could switch things up, the people could still switch up their perks just like you do in a normal lobby. um and I think that could be really fun, and it would be a good way to you know give players more opportunity to play fun balanced games. um but we also, whenever we're talking about a new system like this, it's always important to address the downsides. So the only potential downside I can imagine with this system would be farming both blood points and pips. So let's look at blood points first. If people are blood point farming, I really don't see it as an issue. They're getting blood points. They're having a really chill time. They're playing their game. They're obviously doing it because it's like fun for them to farm blood points for whatever reason. Um, and they're only getting blood points if you like maximize your efficiency on your farm. You're literally only getting blood points like 2.5 times faster as survivor. And if they really wanted to, they could get blood points faster than that just by playing killer and farming, like in the current system, or because the queues are really fast as killer right now, and you get twice as much blood points, and everything's just really nice. Uh, you get more shards too. So, like, I don't see that as an issue really. Um, like, if people want to sit there and farm blood points, if they're enjoying themselves playing the game, if that's how they want to enjoy the game, sure. Um, so let's look at something that maybe could be an issue. So farming pips. This means that if they want to farm and they're sitting there having fun, ha 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 ha, we're double pipping every game, ha 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 ha, except for the killer who's getting like a black pip because he's not sacking during the farm, I assume. Ha 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 ha, rank up, rank up, rank up. You know, Obviously that's going to really mess with the survivors ranking, and maybe it'll give them a harder time finding matches in the future. Um, I personally don't really think the ranking system in its current form matters too much. So in its current form, I'm not really worried about this affecting the ranking system, because it is kind of like almost meaningless, especially for Survivor. Anyone with more than like 200 hours can get to red ranks like fairly quickly either way. But let's assume the ranking system does matter. Let's assume they make a more complex ranking system. They implement MMR like they said they're going to do. They make it more deep, uh, and people farm this new ranking system to get like actual meaningful ranks. In that case, if that was the case with the ranking system, I think it would be fine to just make it so that after maybe 1 or 2 games of like one side continuously gaining rank, then they're no longer eligible to gain from those games. But if it's a back and forth, like if it's like the killer like barely like gets like 3 kills the first game, and then he like next game he like really tryhards and he gets all 4, and then the game after that the survivors are like, oh man, we got to switch things up, and oh, I understand how this guy plays better, and now they get a 4 man escape and he loses. I think like a back and forth like that, I don't think that would matter. But if it's clear that one side is just continuously gaining, um, then it probably shouldn't keep rewarding that behavior. But in the current pip system, it really doesn't make any sense because farming like that, like both sides would be increasing. Uh, the current pip system, I'm really not a fan of in general. Uh, but if we wanted to implement this rematch system today, I guess we would have to implement a limit on how many pips you can get. So maybe after 2 games, you don't it doesn't affect your pip score anymore, and it's just like for fun. Uh, and you could even apply that to blood points if you really think it's interesting. But I think the main goal of this system would be to allow players to have consistent, fun, balanced games. And it would happen when they find a balanced game. They would be able to consistently play in balanced games. So that's the system. I think it would work really well in Dead by Daylight. Now that dedicated servers is out, it shouldn't be hard to implement at all. And that's about it. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about having a rematch button in Dead by Daylight in the comments below. And if you like analytical videos on game design as it relates to Dead by Daylight, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell. Thanks, guys, and I hope to see you in the next one.